Here to take a minute and talk about how anything can be a fucking skill or learnable. Something that is learnable or a learnable skill. This seems, depending who you are, it seems like you don't believe it or you're like, yeah, okay, yeah, that makes sense. Well, let me just tell you, this is just how it is. Anything has a learnable, skillful angle to it. Anything. I fail to think of anything that does not have a skillful angle to it. Even if, even games of chance have some kind of skill to it. Even think about somebody gambling, even right, where you're truly gambling, right? There's like no skill that you could put into the game, but where can you find a skill? You can have the skill of discipline, something that you can learn and build up upon on a regular basis. That skill of discipline, that's going to give you a chance to walk away from the gambling table instead of continuing to gamble until you have no money. I don't know. I feel like the only thing that really keeps somebody from learning something is that they just don't like it. And that's fair. If you don't like it, that's fair. That means you have tried, you have given it an honest chance. But even if you don't like something, I still think you can think about the world in a very skillful way. Like, even if you don't like something, you could consider maybe you want to build the skill of committing to something that you don't even like for some kind of greater good or for some kind of self-honing purpose. You are totally at the liberty to do that and think about it like that. And that's useful. I mean, from my personal experience, I tried getting into real estate because obvious reasons. It seems useful. It takes like not long to get a real estate license realistically. And I've made an attempt to really learn the art of learning, right? To be able to learn whatever skill I want in a useful way, whatever subject I want in a useful way. But oh my god, real estate was so fucking boring. And I could even argue for myself or against myself or whatever that you could think about building the skill of tolerance. You don't like that thing? Who cares? Fucking power through it anyway. Build that skill of tolerance because that's going to end up being useful further down the line. But aside from that, like finding some way to grit past something in that skillful way, if you make an honest attempt and you're just like, I actually just don't enjoy this, like this is bringing me down, then you can be totally fine knowing that you tried to learn the skill, you gave the skill a chance, you hated the journey and you didn't really care for where it would take you, so you stopped. But that means you can just take up another miscellaneous or specifically useful skill to start learning. Even like random abstract shit like tolerance is a skill, I would argue, like tolerating boredom, like I was just talking about. People, you've heard patience is a virtue. At first glance, you're like, sure, patience is a virtue. How do I become like a patient sage? You gotta practice that skill. You gotta hold the idea of patience in your mind, eyes on the prize, develop that patience. I truly fail to see anything that you cannot view in this skillful light, or at least find some skillful angle towards developing whatever thing. I don't know. Keep that in mind. If you feel like you need to start learning something, or you're trying to learn something, you just feel like a dumb, stupid little baby, little child. It's not a good feeling, but that's really not a good feeling. But hold it in your fucking mind, in your fucking heart, to keep just trying to learn, man. Like you're gonna feel like a small dumb little baby at first, but the more you learn, the more is gonna fit in your dumb little baby head, and eventually, dumb little babies become fucking adults. So